Greetings once more, dear friends. Fry Lego Dragon back once again. Another quick unboxing today, and this arrived spectacularly early from Arrow. This is Yasuzō Masumura's Play It Cool. I'm realising that it's probably the first time I've actually had a chance to speak about a Masumura film on the channel, but big fan of his work, really largely thanks to Arrow's releases. They put out quite a few in the past. Haven't done one directly for a little while, but previously they put out Blind Beast, which is incredible, Red Angel, which I'm a bit less of a fan of, but still really good, Giants and Toys, which is a phenomenal film, Black Test Car, and probably my favourite of the bunch, Irizumi, all with glorious cover art by Tony Stella, who's also worked on this release. Play It Cool, kind of a sort of loose series of movies, not really connected other than they all feature the same star, kind of 1960s, 70s sex pot, sex bomb, idol at the time, Mari Atsumi, who was a musician and actress and model, and she made a kind of series of 6 movies, again not really connected, so they don't follow on from each other, but they all kind of explore the same sort of themes. 2 of them were directed by Yasuzō Masumura, Play It Cool, and also, I think, if I'm right, Numbing Jellyfish, aka The Hot Little Girl from 1970. But enough rambling for just now. We'll get a little look inside and take a wee look and see what goodies Arrow have put together for this release. I suspect that there's a good chance that the Masumura films that Arrow released in the past were all kind of probably driven by Fran Simeone, now formerly of Arrow, now with Radiance Films. So I would really be interested to see if they do any Masumura releases under the Radiance banner now that he's kind of left Arrow. But most of the early ones all had Fran as the executive producer, and they're kind of very much kind of up Radiance's streets. If you're kind of fan of Radiance's Japanese releases and you haven't seen much of Masumura stuff, then I would recommend that you check them out because I think you'll probably enjoy them. But we get Tony's glorious artwork on the outer slip and then repeated on the inside. I think reversible cover with the original poster on the other side here. Just pretty cool. We see Mari Atsumi there. And then inside our booklet, we are getting a little card advertising upcoming release and the Arrow streaming service. And inside here, we're getting our cast and crew notes. Then into Yasuzō Masumura's Femme Vitale by Earl Jackson. And then notes about the presentation, production credits and thanks. And on disc wise, I think we've got quite a little bit here as well this time round. We are getting brand new audio commentary with critic and Japanese cinema specialist Jasper Sharp, joined by professor and Japanese literature specialist Anne McKnight. Too Cool for School, a brand new video essay on Play It Cool and the career of writer-director Yasuzō Masumura by Japanese film scholar Mark Roberts. Original theatrical trailer and image gallery, and our reversible sleeve with our glorious art by Tony Stella, and then the booklet with writing, as we saw, by Earl Jackson. So Masumura was a really interesting dude. I think his movies are all quite different genres. Often they kind of have quite strong female leads, which I think some people often end up mischaracterizing him slightly as being very kind of interested in kind of female stories. I think he'd always argued that he was much more interested in human stories and felt that really men were always pretty much driven by their chasing after or their love for women, so that kind of looking at women's stories was a better way for him to kind of examine human stories or examine humanity. But yeah, all of his movies really kind of quite disparate. Recently, another Arrow release, A Certain Killer and a Killer's Key, both starring Raizo Ishikawa, also based on a screenplay by Masumura. And one of the movies that people don't always seem to remember that he did was the second one in the Hanzo the Razor series. He directed Hanzo the Snare, which is, I think, my favourite of the 3 Hanzo the Razor films, and one that I'm desperately hoping at some point we get a Blu-ray upgrade. So, Fran, if you're watching this by some grace of God, do please consider giving us all 3 movies in a glorious Radiance box set, and you would absolutely make my year, because those movies, I think, fallen a little bit out of favour recently, given that they're not the most politically correct, is maybe the safest way to say it, but I absolutely adore that series, and I kind of would really love to see them on Blu-ray with decent extras. Eureka did put out a box set quite some time ago, so I just have the DVD set, but would absolutely love to make an upgrade. But this is not a movie review, this is just me rambling about Yasuzō Masumura and how much I enjoy his films. So if you do want to see a proper movie review, let me know in the comments down below and I will make one. But in this really pretty tragic story, but really very, very well realised, about a young girl whose mum works as a hostess and is always bringing home dodgy guys. One of the guys that she brings home assaults her. Her mum, in retaliation, then stabs the guy and he dies. So mum's sent to prison and the young girl has to fend for herself. And ultimately, despite her mum's best efforts, ends up kind of going down familiar footsteps to her mother and becoming a hostess. And then her story kind of goes into slightly darker, more tragic, and then ultimately she kind of wins out in the end. But that's as much as I'm going to say about the story for now. So yeah, if you want to see a proper review, let me know in the comments down below. I've been the Fralico Dragon. Play It Cool coming out on the 3rd of March from Arrow Films, but I pre-ordered it and got it already, so I suspect if you pre-ordered it, you'll be getting it pretty damn soon. But that's it. Thank you very, very much for watching. You're a legend if you made it through to the end of my ramblings, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.